Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Coach D. Welcome to Real Talk Tuesday. Man, can I tell you this? There was a young man that had just got drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers. And when I had watched him get drafted by the Steelers, I'm thinking, okay, he seems excited, but it's not just excitement. He also seems like he's carrying something heavy. And as I listened to his story unfold, I was like, I see what's going on. I see what I was picking up. This young man, his name is Derrick Harmon. I don't know if you heard of him, but just recently in the 2025 NFL draft, they featured this young man. And I'm going to break it down today, hit a little bit of his story, because I think what I'm about to share with you is not just something that is like heartwarming, but it's something that's going to be fruitful, beneficial to you, young king. And so again, welcome to Real Talk Tuesday, where we talk real, where we leave no fluff, where we put no extra like sugar coating on anything, man. Like I really want to just shoot you straight. Why is that? Because I truly believe that if I can come to you in the right manner, like just straight talk, that man, it's going to be better received. And if it's better received, then you're going to do something with it. So with all that being said, once again, welcome to Real Talk Tuesday. If you have not done so, man, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel right now, because we want to continue to give you content that's going to not just, like I say, make you feel good, but it's going to put you in a situation where you can leave a legacy behind that's worth saluting. We're talking love, leadership, and legacy on this channel right here. So make sure you subscribe, and also go ahead and tag your brother in for this right here. Again, we talking Real Talk Tuesday, YouTube live. And let me say this. The word of the day is conviction. All right, conviction. And conviction is going to help you to make good on the promises that you made. Most people talk about their why. Well, your why has to be big. Ain't nothing wrong with having a big why. There's nothing wrong with having a real good reason as to why you should do something. But if there's no conviction that goes with that good reason, then you're going to find yourself still missing the mark. And so today I want to talk about, like I said, conviction, man. Conviction. Man, I'm excited about this one. This is good. All right, so here we go. So let me just jump right into what conviction means. And then as we go into it, I want to now I'm going to shift. I'm going to show you about Darryl Harmon. All right. Is that good? All right. So conviction. What is conviction? Conviction is a firmly held belief or opinion. It's that simple. But listen to the word choice. It's a firmly held belief or conviction. All right. Or opinion. That's what conviction is. A firmly held belief or opinion. Why do I emphasize that word firmly? I don't know about you, man, but I've been in places where I've been tested. I'm talking about like really dealing with some hardships, dealing with some stuff that's so heavy, man. I'm like, man, my knees done buckled. I'm on the ground, and I'm like wondering, like, do I really have what it takes, right, to get past this situation? I've been there number of times. As a young boy, I've been there. As a teenage young man, I've been there. As an adult, I've been there, man. As a grown man having wife and kids, man, adult kids, like I've been there. And it doesn't feel good when you're in that position, man. Like I ain't gonna lie to you. Like it doesn't feel good to be in a place where you feel so weak, where you feel so incompetent, you feel so inadequate. Like, man, I don't really think I got what it takes. It doesn't feel good. But what conviction does, conviction say, nah, bro, listen, you started this thing, get up. You got to finish it. That's what conviction does. So when you got that firmly held belief or opinion, when it's firmly held, I'm talking about to the point where even when you get bopped in the mouth by life and you bleed Even when you get decked and you on the ground trying to pick yourself up, conviction say, "Nah, man, I'm not staying down here." Conviction say, "All right, man, you probably got a good lick right there. I'm about to get my lick back." Conviction says, I refuse to quit. And so it's one thing to have a reason why you do a thing, but I need for you to have the conviction to go right along with that. And that conviction is going to make that reason why you shouldn't quit, make it that much more, what's the word I'm looking for? Make it that much stronger, right? That's the best thing I can come up with right now. But that it's gonna make it to where you just, I can't give up on this. Let me give you an example. I told you, for those that had heard my story, I said for my little brother Quincy, when I had lost my dad the night, that I had told him 3 words. I said, "I got you." That was it. I got you. That's all I told Q as we stood by the car. Prior to, I told my daddy, "If anything happens to you, daddy, I got you." He made me make him a promise. I said, "I got you. If anything happens to you, I'm gonna make sure I take care of my little brother Quincy." And it wasn't just me saying yes, it was me having a conviction behind that thing. So even when stuff hit the fan, and I'm like, dang, my daddy just died in my arms. I'm 14. He just died. He was killed and he died in my arms. That conviction, when I looked at Quincy, I was like, nah, I can't do what I thought I wanted to do, which was retaliate and take the woman's life that took my dad's life. I can't do that. Like, conviction told me, no, my little brother Quincy, I just told him just moments ago that I got you. And some of y'all, what happens is when you get busted in the mouth or when you get decked, you find yourself just laying there, you waddling, and you feeling sorry for yourself. And you feeling as if, man, you know what? I really don't have what it takes. Now I can't go on and I don't know how to pick myself up. I told you, I felt that same way before many a times. But I did not stay down there. Why not? Because I had conviction. And listen to me, young king. Some of us, man, we too weak. Like, we don't really have a spine, as they say, as the people back in the day used to say. You ain't got no spine, man. We got a spineless generation that won't even stand up tall when it comes down to standing for what they say they stand for. If they say they're going to do something because their feelings change, because the mood changed, it's like, no, I'm not going to do it anymore. No. You have to be that man of your word, right? Conviction says, nope, I said it. I don't care how tired I am. I'm going to do it. Can I keep it real? I was telling my kids this earlier, man, because we getting ready for back to school and all that. And I told them, I said, man, I really don't feel like going. I don't have the energy to go and to do Real Talk Tuesday. One of my kids said, hey, don't go then. I said, nah. I said, it's a principle thing. Listen to me. I said, it's the principle. The principle is I started this thing and I cannot stop. I won't stop. That's conviction. Even when I don't feel like it, I'm still going to do it. Why? Because I said I would. And so it has to be more than just, like I said, you have this big reason as to why you want to do a thing. You have to have that firmly held belief or opinion about the thing. And when you got it firmly held, man, I'm telling you, nothing can pry it open, man. No temptation can pry your hands open and make you let go of what you said you was going to do. Nothing. The only thing that will stop you from doing it is death itself. That's the only thing. If you happen to pass away, then you yourself can't do it. But hopefully you got someone that's going to follow behind you, a successor, right? Somebody's that's going to say, all right, I'm going to take the load. Coach D not here anymore. I'm going to carry the load. And then they'll still carry that thing out. Right. But again, we talking conviction, man. Let me calm down a little bit because I'm dead serious about this. That night when I thought about my little brother and I thought about retaliating, so I got 2 choices. Okay, do I retaliate or do I look out for Quincy? Like, in a matter of seconds, listen to me. My dad's lifeless body is still laying on my lap, y'all. It's still laying on my lap. And I remember thinking in a matter of seconds, I was like, all right, if I do what I want to do, it's a good chance that Quincy can lose the 2 most important people in his life in the same night. Our daddy and his big brother, DJ. And I asked myself the question, I said, is that fair to him? I didn't ask myself that question. I said, man, that's not fair to him. That's what I thought to myself. That's not fair to Quincy. Again, conviction. Conviction. When I told Quincy I got you, that conviction said, no, bro. You can't put him in that type of situations. He didn't ask for that. And so I'm asking you, young king, where is your conviction, man? Where is it? When you showing up on the field, where is your conviction? I don't care if coach just chewed your butt out. There's no reason for a mid-game for you to take off the pads and say, man, forget it. What happened to your brothers that you in the trenches with? What happened to your brothers, man, in the locker room? You say, man, we about to go get this dub, man. We about to go smack this team down, da-da-da-da-da. And y'all started catching the L, and then coach started chewing you out because you made a mistake on the field, and then you just shut down. What are we really doing? Where's the conviction? Some of y'all, man, you gotta grow a spine, young king. You listening to all this negative chatter, man. You got people in your ear telling you, man, let's go ahead and roll up that blunt. Let's smoke that, man. Let's go ahead, man. Let's go get this body count up. Let's go smash. Let's go whatever. And you already know, like, man, I told my mom and I'm not gonna make that same mistake again. But man, I can't tell my boys that I can't go out there and do this thing. And you got two hard decisions you got to make. Do I live up to my word that I made, the promise that I made to my mama? Or do I give in to the temptation and go with my homeboys and do the stuff I know I shouldn't be doing? Especially if you got goals, especially if you got aspirations, young king. If you're saying, man, maybe you do want to go to the league. I want to go to the league. Cool. Or maybe it's not even about the league, man. I want to leave a legacy behind for my family to really be good. I want to take my family about this community. I want to put my siblings up on game and get them to where they got financial freedom, where they can live life on their own terms. Conviction says, man, I'm keeping my eyes on that right there, and I'm not letting it go. But for some of us, because we don't have that spine, man, because we really ain't about what we talk about, we find ourselves making some foul moves. I'm gonna take it back for a minute because I had brought up Michael Beasley, man, the former NBA star, man, and professional basketball player. And I said for him, like there are some things that he had did that was questionable. And part of that was him trying to go at things by himself. Like on his own. He was going through homelessness on his own. Listen, but his conviction said, man, I ain't gonna quit. Like if you listen to his story, he said, man, I was still practicing with my teammates. I was still playing in games, and I was going harder than they were. And they had a roof over their head. They had a place to call home. They had money in the bank. I didn't have it, but yet I was going harder. Why? Because he actually had conviction. Now, the way he went about it, yeah, it's a better way to do it. Don't do it by yourself. We talked about that. But I want to hit on the other side of it, man, that my man had conviction. He wasn't going to just lay down. But many of us, what we do, we lay down. We lay down, man. We say one thing, and like say the moment our feelings change or the mood switches, so does our decision. So does our actions. And I want you to stop being like that. Because there ain't no way in the world you're going to be able to lead and impact the people that you're supposed to lead and impact if you got that type of behavior, man. Like, listen to me. That attitude is the wrong one. So we talking conviction, man. Let me jump over here, man, because I can go all day with this. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like this really hits for me. But let me pull this up real quick, man. Conviction. Yep. That's right. Conviction. So let me go here. This young man right here, once again, his name is Derrick Harmon. All right, Derrick Harmon. Where we at? Boom. Check this out. Like I say, he just got drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers
Moment for the newest member
in the 2025 draft. All right.
Bittersweet moment for the newest member of the Pittsburgh Steelers. KDK has learned that after Derrick Harmon learned that his dream of playing in the NFL would become a reality, his mother died. Thanks for joining us at 5. I'm Ken Rice.
And I'm Christine Sorensen. He called it their lifelong dream. Last night, after the Steelers drafted Harmon, he told the media he was heading to the hospital to be with his mom. She died just hours later. Tonight, we're learning more about his relationship with her.
Our team coverage begins with Rich Walsh.
Obviously, a sad day here at Steelers headquarters. Shortly after hearing his name called by the team, Steelers first-round draft pick Derrick Harmon's mom passed away. Harmon informed us last night his mom was unable to attend his draft party and that she was fighting for her life and unable to communicate on life support at a local hospital. Harmon went to visit her after the draft. She passed away soon after. Obviously, a bittersweet night last night for Harmon, who was choked up and emotional when we talked to him, but relived some fond memories of what his mom meant to him.
Man, how resilient she was, man. Just growing up from my standpoint and my situation, I grew up with her having probably 7 to 8 brain surgeries. And after all those brain surgeries, man, she did not give up. She still took me to practice, still went to work. And I always in the back of my head from the beginning of my college career was, why can't I keep going? If I'm tired, I'm injured, whatever it is, why can't I keep going if she can get up and she keep going after brain surgery? So just her resilience and her hard work, really.
Harmon is expected to be introduced by the Steelers at some point today. Meanwhile, the Steelers do not have a...
Now, let me pause for a moment, man, because when I think about what he just said, he said he grew up and his mama had 7 or 8 brain surgeries. And yet she didn't tap out, man. She didn't tap out. She still continued to work. She still continued to get him the practices. She still continued to have a good attitude on life. Like she was resilient and she was hardworking. What's your excuse, young king? Like, what's your excuse? Besides, I didn't feel like, shut your face. Don't nobody care about what you feel like. What's supposed to get done? What needs to get done to get where you say you want to get to? Like, stop. It's one thing to talk. It's another thing to walk that thing out, like, for real. And this is what I learned, man. The conviction is the difference between good intentions and great results. Like, please hear what I'm saying. Conviction is the difference between good intentions and great results. A lot of people have good intentions, man. There's a whole lot of people that went to their grave with good intentions, but piss poor results. Listen, piss poor results. Like, they didn't even scratch the surface on what they were capable of doing because they kept making excuses. But what conviction does is say, I not only do I have good intentions, but I'm gonna make good on those intentions so well that I'm gonna produce great results that people can't deny. If you walk into that team room, you walk into that locker room, you walk onto that field, onto that court with that level of conviction, man, you're gonna have already put in a ton of work, right? That's gonna show up on the field. And I'm not just talking about physically, I'm talking about even mentally, emotionally. You're gonna have a certain level of maturity that your teammates, they can only admire when you really have conviction. Coach gonna be calling on you to be captain when he already picked his captains for the year, but he's gonna be calling on you to show up and to speak to the team and to go over there and mentor and this and that, right? Because you operate with conviction. And so even though you don't have a C on your chest, he's still gonna treat you like a captain. But that, again, conviction is the difference between good intentions and great results. When you got conviction, I promise you, it's undeniable. People can't help but give you credit. Even your haters can't help but give you credit. Now, that dude go hard, man, but shows he still I don't know, it's something about them. Like they really trying to find something. You know what I'm saying? But they can't deny. They can't deny that, nah, man, this dude legit. All right, anyway, just keep listening, man. Keep listening.
Second round draft choice. Their next pick is in the third round, choice number 83. With the Steelers on the south side, Rich Walsh, KDK News.
Thanks, Rich. And Derrick Harmon's journey to the NFL had not been an easy one.
Ross Gadati spoke with a journalist who followed Harmon throughout his college career and has more on the bond he shared with his mom.
The Pittsburgh Steelers select Derrick Harmon.
When Derrick Harmon found out he was going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler, he did so without the person he calls his rock being present. His mother, Tiffany Sane. Harmon telling reporters that, quote, "It was a little bittersweet, man. My mom wasn't with me. She's at the hospital right now on life support. So that was a little bittersweet because she worked as hard as me to get to this moment," close quote. It was a moment they could share before Tiffany Sane's failing health would claim her life, hours after her son told her that they had reached what they had both fought so hard for.
She's had several brain surgeries in her life,
as well as a stroke several years ago.
She lost the use of the left side of her body.
According to Harmon, his mother's health wasn't the only challenge the family faced.
This is a tough, gritty guy who, grew up on 7 Mile Road in Detroit, to a single mom who, scrimped and saved to send him to football camps throughout his youth.
Ryan Clark of the Oregonian says, in as much as Tiffany Sane gave her heart and soul to her son, Harmon did what any good son would do for his mom.
He would come home as often as possible to help take care of his mom.
Perhaps equaled only by their final time together, as a caring son at the greatest moment of his young life was able to tell his mom, at the very end of hers, "We made it."
And he said he was going to do this last night to go visit her in the hospital and tell her that her son was drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers, which I think is an unbelievably special thing.
Ross Gadati, KDKA TV News.
Yeah. Yeah, so man, I really, so much respect for this young man. So much. Hey, Derrick, Harmon, man, salute to you, young king, for real. For you and your mom to work as hard as you did to get to that spot, man, I really, again, I salute you on your conviction, right? You had so many reasons. Truth be told, you had so many reasons where you could have said, you know what, I'm done. Coach, it's too heavy, man. My mama, she's sick. Like, I got to go back and forth to the hospital, to make sure she good. Man, like, my mind ain't here. Like, I can't do this. But you didn't do it. Like, you took that why, that reason why, and you attached your conviction to it, man. And it took you to exactly where you wanted to be, which is in the league. And so my prayer for you, man, is that you continue to be strong, that you continue to set the example, and that you exemplify what it is to have conviction. And I'm even praying, man, that you get to see whatever goals you have. If it's Super Bowl championship, if it's Pro Bowls, if it's Hall of Fame, like whatever it is, man, I really pray that God will bless you with that for real, for real. Just don't stop, man. You are really making a difference, and you are really blessing a whole lot of people with the way that you choose to persevere by using your conviction, man. Anyhow, so with that being said, once again, salute, young king. Now, man, so let me get back to this. So I really want to talk now. I want to shift it to the King's toolbox, because I think here is where I want us to really focus on the 3 tools that can help us to sharpen or to improve our conviction. I want to help us to improve our conviction. So the first one I want you to look at is this. The way that we're going to improve our conviction, if you will, to strengthen our conviction, is we're going to focus on our reason why. I know what I said earlier, your why isn't enough, but you have to start there, right? And what I mean by focusing on your why, remember what I had did when I was little, when I was 14, I said, when my dad passed away, my little brother was there. I didn't just think about the promises that I had made, but I also thought about what happens if I don't make good on my promise. And what I had mentioned to you is that in that moment, when I was thinking about the consequences of me not making good on my promises, I started to realize I was going to put Quincy at a disadvantage in life, because he would have lost the two most important people in his life at the same night. That would have turned his world upside down. Who knows? Quincy probably wouldn't have even seen beyond his teen years. Like, he would have got caught up that bad. But because I thought about the consequences of me not making good on my promises, I was able to really strengthen or fortify my conviction. I need you to really focus in on your why, man. What happens if I don't make good on this? What happens if I don't make a decision that's beneficial for the person I say I'm doing this for? What happens to them? Like in the case of Derrick Harmon, could it be that if I don't go hard, then maybe my mom was drawing strength on me. When she saw me go hard, she wanted to go hard. Or because she knew that every time she went hard, that I was going hard. But the minute I stopped going hard, maybe she's like, you know what, what's the point? Because as hard as I keep going, he ain't even trying to follow my lead no more. And maybe she would have checked out way sooner. Maybe she would not have ever heard or been able to see him be drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers. You follow what I'm saying? So I want you to really think about, like focus on your why, but focus on it in the sense that if I don't make good on this, what can happen? And that's going to help to really strengthen your conviction. All right, that's one. Number two, I want you to focus on actually training through the discomfort. I know it may sound like I'm saying the same thing, but it's a little bit different. So when I say training through your discomfort, I'm saying I want you to like push yourself. One of my mentors, man, Dr. Eric Thomas, E.T. the hip hop preacher, one of my mentors, man, he said it like this. He said that a lot of us, we think our 100% is all that we can give. When reality is our 100% really ain't our full best effort. It's not. What we perceive to be our 100% isn't. We actually can go more than that. And so he says, instead of giving 100%, give 120. So when you think you done gave it your all, give it even more. And so when I say to train through the discomfort, what I'm saying is allow yourself to have training sessions, physical training sessions, where you're doing workouts, where you at practice, and where you would normally go full speed, turn it up even another 2 notches and go even faster, go even harder. When you're in the weight room, you're like, man, no, this is my max right here. This is all I can do. No, go even harder. Like push through it. Because again, we have a perceived best, but then we have our actual best, which is usually going to be about the 120% mark. You feel what I'm saying? So right now, 2 things that we talked about. I need you to anchor to your why, like really focus on your why, but think about what happens if you don't make good on that promise. And then the second thing is to train through your discomfort. All right, these are 2 ways that we can actually strengthen or fortify our conviction. All right, push, man, push hard. Push hard. All right, and the last one I want you to do is to keep accountability visible. This one right here, man, people, especially I've seen it with the younger generation, especially, man. Those that like in their teen years, their early adulthood, they're like, man, don't tell me what to do. Like, I know what to do. And they, as old folks should say, man, they smelling themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like they think they can't be told nothing. And what happens is they shun accountability. I don't want that being you, young king. Don't push away the accountability. That accountability is there to make sure you make good on your promises. And that right there is going to help strengthen your conviction as well when you have somebody there that's going to hold you accountable. Because now you're like, dang, man, you know what? If I don't do what I say I'm gonna do, I know I'm gonna have this person yapping in my ear. I know they're gonna tell me something that I already know, and I don't even want to hear that. And so that's going to, again, help you strengthen your conviction. So we talked those three things, man. Once again, make sure that you actually anchor to your why, like really focus on what will happen, what will be the consequence if you don't make good on your promises. The second thing, make sure you train through the discomfort. And then the third thing, make sure that you actually keep accountability visible, like allow yourself to be held accountable, in other words. All right, allow yourself to be held accountable. So find that person, man, that, again, it's not going to sugarcoat nothing. They're not going to sit up here and say, oh, it's okay. And they going, whatever excuse you come up with, they're going to be in agreement with. Like, don't find somebody that's going to be like that. Finding somebody's like, man, bump your excuses, bro. You said you're going to do 100 push-ups. Get over there, do 100 push-ups. Bump your excuses, bro. You said you was going to get in there and you're going to do 5, sets of 10 reps. Then they're going to do 5 sets of 10 reps. You said you're going to get this work done, man. You said you're going to blah, 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 blah. Like, whatever. Find that person that's going to hold you accountable, all right? All right, bet. So last thing I want to give you is this, man. Last thing is our daily affirmation. But before I do that, I would be remiss if I did not speak on the sponsor of the week, which is First State Bank of Waco. Man, I really appreciate y'all. Y'all don't even understand. So Raymond, Lucian, man, you are my guy. Like, I really appreciate how you guys have went out of your way to be supportive of what we're doing. And this episode right here, episode 11, is brought to you by First State Bank. If you do have banking needs, man, go see my guy, Raymond. He's the VP over there at First State Bank in Waco, Texas. Man, get your account set up. Tell him that Coach D sent you, all right? And maybe he'll give you a little extra love. I don't know. We'll see, right? But also, Raymond, I thank you guys, First State Bank, for sponsoring our initiative, Hope for the Underdogs, being our premier sponsor. Where we're actually going into the juvenile detention centers, into the youth correctional facilities and youth prisons all throughout the state of Texas. We speaking life to them. We encouraging them. We're inspiring them. But we also turn around. We're going to hand them some books that has stories in it that they can connect with. And those stories, by them connecting with those stories, is going to help them to find a love for reading. The love for reading turns to love for learning. And that love for learning is going to help them shift their mindset and change their belief system. So when they get out, these young kings, they're not going right back in. They're not going right back in. They're going to level up. And so, again, thank you, First State Bank, for being our sponsor of the week. So now let's get into the daily affirmations. We get ready to head up out of here, young king. I want you to repeat after me, man, just 4 quick lines. And this is what it says. You ready? Here we go. When the pressure hits, I don't retreat. Conviction keeps me on my feet. Through pain and trials, I still advance. I own my dream. I'll take my chance. We talking conviction today, man. Conviction. Replay that right there. Like, get that down in your heart, man. Like, really let that be something that you find yourself saying as you heading off to your classes. You know what I'm saying? As you heading out to workouts, as you heading out to the team meetings, as you heading out to your job, even if you about to go, go on a date with your girl or whatever. Like I'm saying, like, just, I want you to say those things, man. Like, continue to replay that. I know it may sound crazy. But the more you feed yourself that, man, the more you're going to start believing it. And the more you believe it, the more you're going to walk it out. And the more you walk it out, the greater impact you're going to have on this world. And I promise you, you're going to look up one day and people are going to be saluting you, right? And your legacy. I told you, man, listen, you are a winner. You are a winner, young king, but winning is a choice. So whatever you do, do not quit. This Coach D, man. Stand on your conviction. Tag a brother that needs to hear this, man, for real, for real. Until next time, I will see you guys next Tuesday, 8:15 p.m. Central Standard Time for Real Talk Tuesday live. I'm out.